Ba-now. Woo! What's up, people? It is another episode of the Giants, guys. And how freaking cool is it that I can say the Giants won? Not only is it like cool to say, it's like cooler to be around people who like the Giants right now. Everybody's stoked, wearing the shot, wearing all your gear, right? First time in 6 years, the New York Giants have won their opening game. 6 freaking years we've been waiting for this. 6 freaking years. 6 years ago, I was like a whole different person. Like I don't even know who I was back then. I was probably a lot more fun. So I'm gonna bring in some folks that you know and love, and I know I love. Yeah, I can say that. I guess I love them. Thanks for tuning in. Another episode of the Giants Guys brought to you by Astroflave. We're going to get into that a little bit. 5 jersey locations. Look, you guys work out. I know you do. You're always like posting pictures of yourselves online, flexing. You're constantly wearing shirts that are 4 times too small. Well, do yourself a favor. Astroflave, okay? It's got amino acids. They've got great shakes. It's called Astroflave because the taste is out of this world. I have a 10% discount. Try it out. It is the best protein shake you are going to find. I guarantee it. Guaranteed. Oreo, chocolate, peanut butter cup, flat out. Do yourself a favor. If you like banging plates, if you like doing CrossFit, you like running stairs, working out, you like clean and jerk, you like whatever you do in the gym, whatever you do if you work out. There's a rumor that Nikki did some crazy 5-mile hike somewhere through the Amazon, and she had a Astroflave shaker with her. So we're going to bring in our folks. Anyway, Astroflave, check it out. You can't go wrong. They'll ship it right to your house. In fact, Chris from Hawaii, I don't know if you're on because it's like, I don't know, it's like 8 hours difference there. We even shipped it to Hawaii. So we love Mike over at Astroflave. Let's bring in the peeps. All right, let's get in sporting. Boom.
Craig, how we doing right now, man?
I'm jacked, baby. How else would I be?
I'm feeling very undefeated, if you will. You know, like I just feel like I haven't lost in so long.
Yeah, don't jinx us, dude. But yes, I'm feeling great, man. Like first time in 6 years, we've been able to talk about a win on opening day, and this is what the fan base needs. Now, there's still that 1% of those morons out there that want to complain about everything they can. Rah, rah, rah.
Okay.
They hate so many things. And you know what? They will get the boot. If you're an idiot, you get the boot. All right?
We were just talking about Pete earlier on Twitter, right?
Mike, the idiot, yeah, he gets a boot too.
What was he saying?
It doesn't matter. He's an idiot.
All right.
We need to be, listen, we're not all going to get along. We're going to have a difference of opinion. We're going to talk about the Giants. We're going to go through some cool stuff, okay? We're going to talk about, like, the big party that we're having on the 23rd of September, the Friday before the Ring of Honor ceremony. We're going to talk about a ton of cool stuff, right? But Spartan, I need to bring in Nikki because she's hanging out in the green room, and she's like, why aren't they bringing me on? So let me pop her in here.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Nikki?
Hi.
Party has arrived.
Yes, I am here.
What shirt are you wearing?
Oh, my Rush shirt. Hold on.
You got to stay. There it is.
Hold on. Sorry, we're live. Oops.
Yeah. Well, sorry about that, guys.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah. Actually, everyone's like, do more. Do that.
Do it again. Do it again, Nick. Do it again. No, I feel good. I feel amazing today.
Look, you know how why you feel amazing or how good it is.
Yeah.
Mason, who we love, longtime fan of the show and the website and everything. His opening line is, "What's up, bitches?" Because everybody's in a good mood, right? And then let's see, don't make a lady wait.
Yeah.
Oh wait, look, we got my man from Breaking's in here. Breaking Tackles. Tony's in here. Let's go. We pop Tony up there. What's up? Tony's got some very cool hair, by the way. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Another episode of the Giants Guys. We're gonna talk about a whole bunch of stuff. So I hope you hang out with us for a while. I brought a beer for myself because I'm doing this.
I brought my Astroflave shaker.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. There was a rumor that you had an Astroflave shaker.
I did. Thank God I had it. It got me through my 5-mile hike.
Somewhere in the Amazon.
Yep.
Yeah, she did some crazy hike.
Damn.
Our Caribbean friend Mark is always here. Yes, what a win. All right, so let me pop this up here because I need this to keep me on track for the show. Let's talk about this win, folks. A lot of ups and downs, right? Started off slow, and then, some stuff happened. So I'm going to start with you, Spartan. Let's just talk about the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
What was your overall opinion of the first half? Because it seemed to me like they just started out really slow.
Yeah, the first half, it looked like the Giants of the last 5 years. So part of me was just sitting there saying, a lot of things haven't changed. Interior line was especially playing very poorly. I don't think they came out with an effective game plan for the first half. And take it with a grain of salt, I was actually stuck in traffic for an hour and a half. So I actually missed the entire first half and was only able to listen to it and then watch the highlights. But yeah, what I got out of that half was that it was very scary because not only, did we look like losing football again, it looked like the Giants couldn't get anything done. So I was very, very worried for the 2022 Giants when I watched that first half.
Tony said he's got to watch the Panthers game in a few. What Panthers game? What is he talking about?
No, Tony, you got to stay here.
Yeah.
I was going to look at the Panthers game from last week to evaluate the Panthers.
Well, after this show. After this show. What's
up, Chris? Oh, so I see Chris is here. Big Blue. We got a bunch of people popping in the show. Well, look, Nikki, as Spartan kind of alluded to, he missed some stuff. You probably didn't miss anything.
Right.
Okay. So what was your first opinion of how they came out of the gate? When they turned on the lights, what was your opinion?
I was just no, not again. How can this be happening again? Yes. No. Something has got how can this be? So I was, if you guys followed me live on Twitter, I was losing my mind like an irrational fan. No, but it was just scary thoughts. And I'm immediately thinking oh my God, season's going to be over again before the first week of October. Here we go again. How do we have our third head coach and they look the freaking same? But props to second half adjustments. Thank God.
Yeah, I agree. I thought they came in now again, Kafka's first time calling plays. Kafka's up in the booth. And they did not look like I expected. What's this Giants notification coming through? Experts react to Giants week. Yes. How did they know that we were doing that?
They're on. Yeah. No, they knew.
Look at that. What they're saying. Well, if you tune into the Giants Guys podcast and you tell your friends about it and you pass it along, everyone else will know about it too. And look, they did start out slow. I did not think the blocking looked great. We wind up getting a strip sack. We have, just guys aren't open. I don't know. It looked pretty basic. Jones was running the ball. It was it felt a little forced. I don't know. I didn't quite feel like the game plan was what I expected. I think I was expecting something high flying and exciting that they've been holding back all off season in camp, and they were going to come out guns blazing. And you know what? And shame on me, for thinking that. But Spartan, we want good football, right? We want to watch something exciting. Was there? And I know you were in traffic, so I don't know how much you missed. And I'm sure you haven't got a chance to watch the full game yet because I think it might be either it was on last night or it's on tonight. Did you make it by halftime, Spartan?
Yeah.
All right. Anything that you saw in the first half that you did like at all? Was there anything that what you did see? Was anything grab your attention?
Yeah, look, I thought the defense this year was just going to be off the rails atrocious. And they, without their two best edge rushers, were playing pretty good football. I couldn't complain about that defense at all. They didn't look like, it's early, so I won't go as far as, nothing's changed, but they didn't look too far off from last year. They didn't look too far off from 2020. They made some stops when they needed to. I was pretty impressed.
And let's be serious, people. And as Mike, as you alluded to, earlier in the week, Tennessee is a playoff team
and a playoff offense,
with a playoff running back. With just if I'm not mistaken. They won their division, did they not? Somebody correct me.
They were the number one seed in the AFC, weren't they?
Number one seed. So, I'm sure, you lose guys to free agency and so forth. But, look, this is a big win. So, I want people to just look. You don't have to like Jones. You don't have to like Kenny Galladay. You don't have to. but it's a win, man. It feels good. We're in a place we have not been in 6 years. Like, let's not all argue about who's right and who's wrong, or this dissection of like one play. Like, it's a work in progress with a new coach and a new GM. So, Nikki, I was going to ask you what your thoughts were on Derrick Henry, because I am not a Crowder fan. Like, I don't think he's an NFL linebacker by any stretch. But he laid the best hit of his career on Derrick Henry early in the game, and I'm not so sure that he was quite the same. I mean, he had 82 yards rushing, but I wasn't overly impressed, with the Tennessee offense.
No, I never am. I'm really not high on Tennessee in general or Ryan Tannehill. Obviously, respect Derrick Henry for everything that he brings to the game and just being a fan of football. But yeah, I'm not a huge Tate Crowder fan, but I was happy to see that. I thought the Giants defense did a really good job handling Derrick Henry. But no, I am usually very underwhelmed by Tennessee's offense for the most part.
Yeah, and I like I said, I thought maybe, since they went out kind of whimpering, that they would come out guns blazing, getting Henry back. And again, they weren't impressive either. So it was wait, what are you drinking from there?
This wonderful Astro Flav shaker.
Wow. Oh, you got a white one.
I got a white one. It's my favorite color.
That's badass. Okay, I got a blue one. Mike, you're like in the minority, buddy. You're gonna
I got the hat too.
Sweet.
I'm ordering it right now.
Sweet.
I hear you get 10% off from some really cool.
Wow. See, that's good teamwork right there. You do. If you go to astroflave.com, you do get 10% off with NY Giants Rush. And that's our code for you guys. But you guys, you don't listen to us very often.
But you also have to get a New York Giants Rush T-shirt that's signed by Leonard Marshall, which you can
oh my goodness, you guys are out of control.
Because you need it for the party and you got to fill the stadium. Yes.
That looks damn good, doesn't it?
Great segue. Yes, definitely make sure you go to the Rush store and order your Leonard Marshall shirt, because guess what? I'm running out of time to ship it to you.
That's right.
So go get it. And everyone who I owe shirts to, they're going. I'm going to Leonard's house tomorrow to get the rest of them signed. So you should have them by the weekend. So slow start for Tennessee. Slow start for the Giants coming out of the gate. I will say that, I watched Crowder make a ton of mistakes. He let that number 40, that back run right by him for a touchdown. Crowder's just not an NFL linebacker. But the Giants defense, like Spartan, you said, they really played pretty good without their two best players. At least we think Tibbs is going to be one of their best players. You're missing Ojulari, you're missing Tibbs. Not a bad showing, out of that defense between, Dexter Lawrence and Leo and McKinney. A lot of those guys I think they showed up. I was really happy. Mason says, let me put this up here for you guys. I wonder on that play where he was late on the coverage on that wheel route if there was some miscommunications. There's always a chance, that there's a miscommunication going on. It's the first game of the year. I just again, I'm not a Crowder fan. I don't think he's an NFL linebacker. So I kind of expected. You heard what he said. Yeah, go ahead.
I thought he impressed me a little bit, son. He didn't play nearly as. I thought he was going to get trucked by Henry. I thought he played a decent game.
Look, Tuto's got the comment. Crowder isn't a tackler; he's a chaser, and that's 1,000% accurate. My man from Italy dropping knowledge on you folks, because that's what he is. He's a chaser. He catches tackles and just kind of hangs on for dear life. But let's get into the strip sack, because that was a oh no, not again moment, Nikki. When that ball pops out of his hand, are you I'm turning the TV off?
Yeah. I'm throwing the remote across the room, drinking. Yes, drinking. It was, you just have, it's we're traumatized, right? So you just have these flashbacks of just oh my God, no. I get very animated and angry, for all of you who may or may not believe that, when I'm watching the game. So, one day I just got to stream it live, because it's quite
that'd definitely be worth the price of admission. Someone said today, 80% of Daniel Jones's sacks, are are from the blind side. And I was like, duh, I'm pretty sure, if I really did the homework, 80% of all strip sacks are from the blind side because you can't see them. I mean, like, so he drops the ball, and all of a sudden you're like right back, like, oh no, here we go again. So then we have, the polarizing play of the pick in the end zone that everybody who hates Jones can't let go. Spartan, tell me what your thoughts are when that happens, because it seems like the Jones haters, they're just going to rip this apart. They're talking about footwork and how they should have hit Shepard on a slant, and was he open, was he not? Like, it's just monotonous.
Craig,
I'm dying.
I think when you mention the Jones haters, there's a difference between people who legitimately hate Jones and want him to fail, and those who genuinely do not believe he's the guy. And when you watch a play like that, where he's not looking through the reads, which is one of his issues for the past 4 years, that kind of reconfirms for a lot of fans that he indeed still has the same issues. It's not getting him to that franchise quarterback level that we need him to. That's not to say he didn't have he had some very impressive plays on Sunday. That deep ball, spot on. But I will say this. Accuracy and the deep ball, not Jones's problems. I don't really want to complain about Jones right now. Was that kind of the game where it's like, you know what, that's what we got to see out of Jones in order to seal the deal as a franchise quarterback? There's a few things that he's got to do a little bit differently still for me. But end of the day, we won a ball game. I won't harp on Jones too much. I won't right now. But yes, I do think that he still had some plays that he's got to work on.
So here's my take on Jones things, and I'll pass it to you next, Nikki. Is like, so whether you want it to be or not, right? It's a work in progress. And it's not his fault because he's got 4 offensive coordinators and 3 head coaches. Like it's a work in progress because of everything that's happened. I'm not making an excuse for the player. I'm saying the work is still in progress of a new playbook, a new coordinator, and getting used to what needs to be done. So I can't expect him to be, this up to speed, flashy QB, being super athletic, making plays, throwing no-look passes, running sidearm, when it's like it's a brand new offense and everything's brand spanking new. So I can't expect that. What I took away from it is we got a lot of holes. He's one of them, but not the biggest one. And he did enough to win the game. He went 17 for 21 for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns. Right. So this one play that everyone just wants to harp on, it's a microcosm of all the other times he missed those throws, right? Spartan, it's just another one of those moments where you're like, why did he do that? And it's a good question because we don't know what Daboll wanted him to do. We don't know what the play is. People are talking about this play like they were in the huddle. Like they knew what Daboll wanted to do. Yes, he doesn't look off anybody else, and I don't know. And if I really had to make an educated guess, it looks like the swing route from Barkley was supposed to be in the corner, and it looks like that Barkley breaks off the route too early because when all our crazy followers break it down, you can see the entire left side of the field is nothing but grass. I mean, it's wide open. There should be a play to be made there, but there's no receivers there. Right? In the open part of the field, there's just Barkley and Hooker. And Barkley doesn't run to the corner. He breaks it off early. And it looks to me, in my experience, which is not on the NFL level, but it looks like when he realizes that Barkley's going to break off the play, he wants to go back shoulder. But the biggest problem with the back shoulder fade is that the cornerback needs to have his back turned to the quarterback, and then you surprise him with a back shoulder fade. Hooker was completely looking right at Jones, and he throws a pick. It's one play. He could have fallen apart after the strip sack. He could have fallen apart after, throwing a pick, and he definitely could have fallen apart after Daboll ripped him a new ass on the sideline, which we'll get to in a second. Nikki, he throws this pick. Are you losing your mind that the game's over and oh no again? Or are you like, that's a miscommunication? Like, what's running through your mind?
My initial reaction was like, oh my God, here we go again. Dude, what the F? But I will say this. Daniel Jones is very up and down, right? He has moments where I'm like, all right, cool. Like, yeah, he's on fire. You see the good things, but then he has these moments, right? And you're just like, oh my God, like get it together. So I think I'm just used to this very up and down play of Daniel Jones. But to your point is that, he hasn't had any continuity, right? This is a third head coach, this is a third regime in his short time here. He's been here 4 years and, he hasn't even gotten a full healthy season. So, it's the offensive line's a little bit better, but he hasn't had much to work with for the past 3 years either. So yes, I was upset, but you do have to kind of, step back a little bit and not get so worked up over it. He did recover from that. He could have completely melted down. And we've seen this team do that. We've seen Eli Manning do that, just not recover from an interception. The team completely mentally shuts down. But I love seeing Brian Daboll get in his face. We haven't seen that on the sidelines in a really long time. Like, I'm fiery, so I appreciate somebody fiery coming back at someone. And I guess he needed it, right? It's like that team, turn it around. Have some balls. And he did. Brian Daboll did.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, and he displayed those balls on numerous occasions throughout the game, which we'll get into. And like I said, I think the pick was just downright terrible, stupid, just, a bad – I mean, I originally tweeted out it was a bad read. I mean, going to the left side of the field wasn't a bad read because there was a lot of grass. I don't know if Shepard was going to remain open on the play. Knowing Jones, he might have thrown a pick if he threw it in the middle of the field too. Like, I just don't know, right? Because he doesn't have enough of those tight window throws for me to feel comfortable that he was going to thread the needle to Shepard, right?
I think one of his strengths is his accuracy. I've never felt that his accuracy is off point. I don't think his deep ball is either.
No, but
the reading is what he's atrocious at. I mean, let's face it, even on not that interception, there were other plays that game where you're right. He had 17 completions out of 21. That's pretty good. But a lot of them were very short passes when there were mid-range players that were open, right?
Well, that's my question though, Spartan, is like, we're picking on checkdowns. If they're not open when he needs to get rid of the ball, they're not open. Like, it's not.
But there were open players.
They're open players when you freeze. See, that's the point. In real life and in real time, it doesn't look like that. You're freeze framing a piece of video saying he's open right there. Like, you're freeze framing. When you play it in real time, you're talking about a millisecond that you're saying he should have thrown it. And 9 out of 10 QBs in the NFL won't or don't. Like, and I'm not sticking up for Jones. I'm just saying he took what was given to him, and he's running with a slow as molasses Kenny G and Sills. I mean, Tony's on the bench. If Tony was in the game, you'd have more separation. You see some more down the field throws. But we're running with David Sills and Kenny Golladay. Like, there's not a lot of separation. So this one little micro stop and freeze frame and go, look, there it is. There it is.
Craig, if you don't want to take my word for it, Giants fans listening in, Kurt Warner was on the show the other day, and he did acknowledge the exact same point that I'm making right now in the problem that Daniel Jones' reading is not very good. Please,
but I disagree. It's a read, though. You're making it like he doesn't even see them. I mean, do we ever think for it? Yes, there are plenty of times where he misses open receivers.
Well, he stares down the receivers. That's kind of the issue, right? I mean, hasn't that always been one of the predicaments? So that's why he's missing a lot of these guys that are open.
There are a lot of times where he stares the guy down too long. He doesn't look off. But I'm only saying that, like, we can't be experts because we're not there. We're just watching it, right? So we're making these judgment calls when we're not 100% right. Either am I, either are you, or any of us. But we're running with slow-ass receivers. Like, they're not getting separation. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not – like, how do you know that he's in that millisecond, he's like, this guy doesn't even have a half a step on this guy. Like, why am I throwing this route? So he doesn't throw it, and he checks down to someone who is. Like, until he has a real wide receiver core – I mean, look at fragile little Wan'Dale Robinson caught one ball – and went and got hurt, and you all yelled at me like, you don't know what you're talking about. He's going to be great. And I hope he is.
But I don't really understand. If you're saying there's receivers that aren't getting separation, but we saw in the pictures and the frames and the videos the other day that there were, aren't they separated then?
No, because that's my point is that you're stopping it. you're stopping it. You can't tell if he could see him, if there's obstructions in his way, what the passing lane is. Are there guys in his way? Just because from the view from the top down, you can freeze it and say, there it is. You can do that with any quarterback in the NFL in real time. It's not that easy to say, oh, yeah, that guy was open. When you look at the pick he threw, Spartan, Sterling Shepard has 6 inches on the defensive back, and everyone says that Shepard was wide open. He should have thrown the slant.
Tell you what, we are so happy about this Giants win. I don't think it's and I said it the other day, 72 hours before we even talked Daniel Jones right now. Let's just give it a break. Whatever people's opinions were, let's just take a break from it. I think we've spent enough time on it for the time being. It's definitely something we got to come back to throughout the season. But I mean, for real, I think we got
they're all haters. They all think it's easy. It's the hardest position in football to play.
It doesn't matter though. We need a franchise quarterback, Craig.
And you're not getting one, so just suck it up.
But, okay, well, I don't want to re-sign one that's obviously not proven himself.
Well, you don't have to. It's not your money.
It's my team. I root for the Giants. I want good quarterback play.
Well, you don't have it right now. You have to play. You have to stick with what you got.
Fair enough. I can stop. You're right.
That's all we got.
That's
Nick,
all we
is
got.
this all we have? Should we just bench Jones now after his 188 in his win and just put what do you call it in?
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, just to shut all these people up. I think it's
Listen, you're never going to please anybody, and that's why
what I'm saying.
You just listen to the fans. I just like to take the logical approach. I will never root for this team to lose. I will never root for a failure. Do I think Daniel Jones is the guy? No. Am I sold on him? No. Do I think that what we're seeing is what we get for the most part? Yes. But do I think Brian Daboll can pull something out of him and maybe give him a little continuity, a little consistency?
He can pull some wins, absolutely.
Yes.
That's it.
I know it's a cop-out answer, but it's like kind of right in the middle.
No, that's the real answer is we can't change it. Let's roll with it and find the positives because we can't fix them. Right? The only guy that can fix them is Kafka and Daboll.
Yeah.
We don't know if they will, but picking it apart every week is like.
Yeah, some of you are exhausting, but I'll be right there with you on the Kenny Golladay hate. No problem.
Like Spartan, I love him. Like I love Spartan. He's like, he wants good quarterback play. Like everybody wants good quarterback play, but this is what we have. So let's say, look, he's right. Like let's let the Jones thing go. He's like, we hope each week he gets a little bit better.
Yes.
We don't know if he will, but they won. They won, and then we can worry about the draft in April, right? And I love the fact that Daboll got up in his face.
Yeah.
It's probably the first time as a pro that someone actually yelled at him.
You don't think? Yeah, Sherman probably didn't yell at him, did he?
No, I can't see him doing that. Like, no.
Like a nice pat on the head, like it's all right, kid.
It's all right. It's okay.
Yeah. Right. What was the quote that Mara said? Because Sherman was the adult in the room.
Yes.
Something like that.
You think, Shermer, and then who was it? Joe Judge? Oh, maybe. No, I don't know. But Brian
Garrett never. Yeah, like I was cool that because that ball just needed to be thrown out of bounds. It was such a stupid throw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, that's going to be the end of it. And then he goes over and he gets in his face. And I think that's holding him accountable for dude, you've been in the league 4 years. You can't make that throw.
Right.
It was so refreshing to see him lose his mind because that's something that you would see out of, some other, maybe you'd see it out of some other head coaches.
Or Parcells would have put on boxing gloves if Sims did that and just popped him right in the face. Like, come on.
Well, what modern day coaches coach like that? Do we have any off the top of our head? Who's a fiery head coach? I bet you Vrabel's pretty fiery.
Vrabel probably is. Yeah. Who else is probably fiery? Doug Peterson's fiery.
Who's that?
Doug Peterson.
Yeah,
he's pretty fiery.
Yeah, I can see.
Let me say this. I mean, I actually think I'm glad Daboll said it to Jones's face, as opposed to what Matt a few years ago did with Eli Manning, and then go to the media and complain. That was so obnoxious. You deal with the players in person. You don't go to the New York sports media to complain about your quarterback.
Oh, that's such a good point.
Yeah.
Man, did I hate that he did that.
I think we all did. Don't throw him under the bus, Handle it
McVay,
in-house.
Mason says McVay. He's a pretty fiery guy.
Oh yeah, he's fiery. Pete Carroll. I mean, he chews so much gum. I think he's just gonna chew his jaw right off. Like he gets fiery too.
I feel like Belichick just gives you a stare. He probably just goes like,
gives you that mom stare. Like,
No, Tony says I'm making too many excuses now for Jones. I'm not making any excuses. I just can't fix it. Like
hey,
I don't want to.
We gotta save the Jones talk, man. It's just gonna eat us up. We're
I just wanted to make sure I didn't ignore his comment. I just don't want to ruin a good year because there's a lot of fun things that can happen. So I don't want to ruin it with Jones, bashing all season long. No excuses. He's got to play way better. So does like Kenny Golladay, and so does hey, Bellinger didn't even get a play, and Tony didn't even get into the game to the fourth quarter, or maybe it was third, but it was late in the game. And then they, what was the quote that everyone has packages, and they didn't run those packages until it was needed. So I don't know. We have some guys that can play ball. And I don't want to ruin the year on just killing Jones. Shut down Henry. Jones needs to get better. Daboll's chewing out Jones on the sideline. I think everyone. Have you heard anyone say they didn't like that?
No, that they didn't like it. No. What'd you guys think about his dance moves though? That was sweet.
Oh yeah. That was
great.
fun. Yeah, that was a couple of those post game videos they're just priceless.
You can tell how much his players respect him. He's obviously a likable guy, but a guy that they all respect, and it's just such a nice balance that you can clearly tell in the locker room. He's actually smart. He actually knows what he's doing. Not like Judge, who didn't come in with any offensive defensive background. He just kind of stood there.
Yeah.
You know what, Spartan? You know who I think he has an opportunity to be like? Tomlin. Tomlin.
Tomlin. Yeah.
Because Tomlin tells you how it is, right? He's very forthright. He's a player's coach. He goes, to the end to support his players, defend his players. He's the longest tenured coach in the league right now.
He's the equilibrium of respect and likability. Players, I think they did a poll of the players. Most players want to play for Tomlin.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see Daboll being that guy. You know what I mean? Because he'll let Kadarius Toney play his music in camp. You know what I mean?
Yes, he does.
He's having some fun with the guys. If you noticed and I'm kind of jumping ahead, but after the game, Zimenez, there must be something with Zimenez. We all kind of were like, why is he still on the team? But if you watch, yes. You watch the post game, Zimenez is hunting him down, following him around and I'm not disrespecting him, but big dog, little dog. You know what I mean? So Zimenez is walking him around. They have a high five. He comes back. He's still there. And next thing you know, Gatorade bucket goes over top of Daboll, and you turn around and it's Zimenez, and he just all of a sudden he starts pumping his fists and he's like, this is great. This is what it's like to win in New York. I think there's a lot of good qualities that the players like about Daboll. And I don't know, Nikki, if you liked Shermer or Judge, but I don't see either one of those guys garnering the same respect as Daboll's already got.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And, as everyone, or you don't know, I did cover camp and I was there quite often in the summer. And I will tell you the one thing that I definitely learned is it is a mutual respect. It is a culture of respect. And Brian Daboll is the first one to tell you he has, nothing but compassion and empathy and respect for what these players go through and the hard work that they do. And it goes both ways. And he lets his players be themselves. You know what I mean? And he even joked with the press on the sideline. He was taking, requests for the DJ, just joking around, having a good time. But, you work when you work, but it's just the mutual respect that's there. And he got it immediately. And you could tell when you're around the team and when you walk in that building.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's pretty cool. Cause I don't think that he, Judge or, Shermer really had any kind of, he probably had connection with some of the guys. Spartan, Second half comes around. It's a completely it feels like a different team.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a halftime speech that goes down, or is that a self-correcting from the players, or both?
Well, I think what it really was the offensive adjustments. It just looked like they, maybe they used that first half to try to figure out what's working, what's not working. And I think they clearly adjusted and say, look, the running game is pretty effective right now. And what they did was not only did they use Saquon Barkley, who, by the way, Saquon is back, baby. Saquon was used in a way that I haven't seen in the last few years. Creative playbook plays. That second down, or that 2-point conversion, that was a great play call. Yeah, it looked like Jones was going to drop back. All the receivers, and then all of a sudden you just do a shuffle to Barkley. Nobody saw it coming, and then Barkley gets it done. That was just clear, intelligent execution by our offensive. Like, all right, this is what's working. This is what we're going to do in the second half, and this is how we're going to win the ball game. I loved it. And then ultimately, look, the reason we won is because Daboll's got guts. He's got the guts to say we're going to go for 2, and you're going to have to fight. The Titans are going to have to fight to get the win from us. I loved it. I really would not have cared if we lost because we didn't get the 2-point conversion. Those are the guts that I wanted to see.
We've interviewed Dan Orlovsky last year. We had him on. Some guys love Dan. Some guys hate Dan. He broke down something so cool yesterday, and I'll kind of paraphrase it by calling it seeds, okay? Planting seeds. And he breaks down the touchdown to Myrick on how they actually pulled this play off. It wasn't like they just ran that play and it was open. They showed the 2 plays before it where Shepard comes in motion from the left towards Jones, stops, and then comes inside and blocks, right?
Pivots.
Right? Then they run the same play from the other side where Sills comes in, gets right to the end of the tight end tackle, turns inside and blocks. And they run up the middle, right? And next thing you know, like they're the seeds, he's planting seeds that when they're running wide receivers in motion, and when they come in and they stop at the end of the line, the seed is being planted with the defense over a period of play that this is a power or a trap up the middle. And next thing you know, Jones just, brilliantly just rolls out and hits a wide open Myrick. They never even saw it. He was wide open, because Kafka, and I got to give Kafka the credit because he's actually calling the plays, right? And Daboll's I guess, confirming that's the way they should go. They're planting seeds all throughout the game to make those other plays work. And to kind of digress, yeah, halftime speech must have been something. The line played better because he got sacked. Nikki, what was it, 4 times?
Yeah, I think it was 4, right?
4 times I think he was sacked. I think 3 of them were in the first half. I got to go back and look now. If someone in the chat wants to tell me how many times. I know it was either 4 or 5 sacks. I thought most of them, 3 of them were in the first half. They did come out and play better. There was a sighting by Kenny Galladay, kind of a thing. 5 sacks. Thanks, Mark. So they did play better. And to your point, Spartan was not only is Saquon back fully healthy physically, mentally, he's going to put it out there. He's putting the league on notice. And back to talking about Orlovsky was saying on the shuttle pass, the flea flicker shovel pass, there were 3 Titans right there. They read the play. And Saquon dropped the shoulder, lowered his pad level, and got underneath those guys to get the touchdown. And Saquon of old probably would have danced and gotten tackled. The new Saquon is all about forward momentum, point A to point B, getting through the hole fast. And it's noticeable.
It's the rebirth.
Yeah,
I think guys. Told you so.
What's that, Nikki?
So I told you so. Told
You
everybody
did.
all summer. Told you so. And
You
I'm
did,
not
and I did not say that. I did not. I apologize. I was very, very wrong about that. I thought Saquon would never be the
You know,
same.
I have people
You're
DMing
right.
me now. They're like, "Oh, you know what, Nikki? I listened to your advice. I took him in fantasy, and you're welcome. All of you are welcome."
There you go. Bang.
For now, for this week.
I'm happy for Saquon. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just like guys to succeed. I don't like guys to fail. I don't like you know what I mean? I want them all to do well. I want good football again. You guys want to win Super Bowls, and I'm like, you know, it just comes in steps. You know, I want good football. You know, it ruins the weekend when they're that bad. And Saquon is a good guy. And whatever it was, whatever triggered him, all the negative press, whatever it was, he's running behind his pads. And the pad level is low. And correct me if I'm wrong, 21 miles an hour on the big run. Fast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the dude is what'd you say, Spartan? He's back.
He's back.
Like
reborn.
Yep. He's putting the league on notice, man. And again, it was a couple plays just, you know, where he just dropped the shoulder. In fact, one play, he dropped his shoulder on the cornerback and missed and went out of bounds. Like, he was like, I'm taking contact. Like, and you know, he missed him and went out of bounds. So it's an aggressive Saquon. Did anybody see him throw his helmet? Did anybody see that video?
Oh, no.
When he scores the touchdown, they show reverse camera angle from behind the bench and like total dog, like comes off, takes his helmet off, whips the helmet over the back of the bench. Like everyone was like, whoop! Like the helmet went flying and he sat down. Everybody came up, dabbing him up. And he was like, you know what I mean? He was like, I'm doing this. I don't care if I'm here, I'm not here, I'm doing it. And I'm excited for him. I'm excited for him. And that was like super refreshing. And I loved, you know, what'd you say? The gonads, the balls, the whatever on Kafka and Daboll to be like, yeah, give him the ball here, pass him the ball here. Let's run I mean, when they line up to go over the 2-point conversion, Nikki, are you like, kick the ball?
Yeah, at first, but you know what? It was like it made sense there, right? Go for the win. And Brian Daboll said, hey, we're going for the win. And you know what? Trust your players. Put the ball in your playmakers' hands. And that's what they did.
What do you call it? Said in the post, Barkley said in the post-game press conference that another reason why they like Daboll is he's a man of his word. And he said to them, we're going to be aggressive. And they were. He said he was going to push the players to do different things, and he did. I didn't put this in the notes, but Spartan, what was your thought on Tony only getting in for a handful of snaps?
Yeah, you know, I feel like the when I watch him get in the play, you know, I'm reminded of how athletic he is, but I just feel like I'm so left in the unknown as to why he only got so many snaps that I don't really even want to guess what the reasons could be. Because most of them in general are pretty bad reasons. It's either he doesn't know the playbook yet, or there's some problem going on with the team, or David. But the bottom line is Daboll did not put him in. Does not look good for him for Kadarius Toney, and I'm just left with question marks at this point in time. And I hope that, you know, at some point he is put in. And is used. I'm going to, defer to Daboll's judgment, but I was just, left scratching my head. Not going to lie. I don't have much insight on that. Nikki, perhaps you do. I don't know.
No, he didn't really give us much on that. I went through the all the notes, all the little special press releases we get first, and not much on that. It was asked and not really answered.
I took away from it was, well, again, like what he said was that every receiver on the team, every player on the team from a skilled position has a package, right? Mm-hmm. And each package has X amount of plays, formations, down and distance, you know, when you run these specific plays, which led you to believe that in the scenario that when the Giants had the ball, it didn't call for that package, right? Like they weren't going to, like, again, this is just what Daboll said. The quote was every player had a package that had certain amount of snaps in it. And when they thought it was right to run that package, he came in. Like they almost made it like a key and a lock. You know what I mean? Like I got the key when I'm going to put it in the lock that needs to be turned when that lock needs to be turned. Like it wasn't like we're just going to have him out here to have him out here, which is kind of odd because that goes against kind of everything you think of a first-round draft pick, right?
Right.
Yeah.
First-round draft pick should be in every package, right?
Right.
I think.
So, Spartan, there's a good chance that some of the points you made are more than accurate. It could be nothing good, right? You don't play like if you have if you have Cooper Kupp on your team or Hill on your team or like those guys would be in every package.
Yeah, there would be no package like just for Cooper
It's
Kupp.
just, yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If you've got any of the top receivers in the NFL, they'd be in every package.
And I guess that's part of the problem, because Kadarius Toney's a first-round pick, so to know that he is only a guy that gets a package, so long as Daboll is making rational decisions, which I trust he is, then yeah, it is very worrisome and quite frankly disappointing.
Last year, the rumor was that he didn't know the playbook, and that was a problem. I don't know if this is a somewhat similar situation. However, pretty neat play that Kafka puts him in to throw the ball. And if I'm not mistaken, is that the play that Sills fell down on? No, yes.
Sure.
The play where he gets the first down and he reversed the field.
Yeah.
That play was a pass, right? He was going to throw it.
Yeah. So yeah. Right.
I think the pass was to Sills in the back of the end zone, and Sills fell down. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think deep on the route there, and he was kind of open too. So
yeah, he tried to do a little bit of a rub block, coming through, and he kind of lost his footing and went down, and then Kadarius didn't, saw him go down, picked it up and ran the other way. The dude's dynamic with the ball. There's no doubt about it.
I should have done reverse. Sills played quarterback in high school, growing up in Delaware. They should have had him throw the ball and then Kadarius Toney go out. I think there would have been better coordination there. That said, Sills would not have reversed the field and gotten the first down. So
yeah, correct. Yeah, But also then we could say maybe Toney wouldn't have fallen down either.
Right.
So all right, very cool stuff. I guess let's jump into like overall thoughts on this game, and then we'll talk Panthers. Sure. I'm going to put a bow on this game that it's a work in progress. I'm expecting more out of every single guy. I thought overall the defense played pretty good for not having Ojulari and Tibbs. Love came up and made some nice plays. I loved, by the way, which we should not ignore. I loved, by the way, how many times he blitzed Love and McKinney off the end at the end of the game. And let's not forget the fact that Darnay Holmes tried to lose the game for us on numerous occasions.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like
dude, what are you doing, dude? Yeah.
Yeah, like we're gonna win this. Yeah. What are you doing? Like
in fact, they tweeted out that Red Hot Chili Peppers GIF that give it away now, because I was just like, what are we doing? Why are we doing? Stop, like we're gonna win. Stop.
Yeah, there's like a minute left and we're holding guys.
Yeah,
and then like next thing you know, like the fourth round pick from UCLA is running free across the field, and you're like, no.
Yeah.
And I like Darnay Holmes, but
not a great game for him.
No. So offense wise, Barkley's the man. There was definitely some good holes for him to run through. I did watch some of the all 22. Thomas and Neal both had pretty good games.
Thomas had a great game.
They're figuring it out.
Yep.
And they're good, and they're figuring out they're good for each other. And I thought Glowinski did pretty good, opening some inside holes for Barkley. Our issue is Azudu and I think if I go back to the chat, I think Chris brought it up. Azudu did a nice job in the run blocking bit. Pass pro was horrendous. So we're definitely gonna need to figure out, Feliciano and Lemieux. So the line is still a work in progress. But there's some hope that they can win some games. Nikki, floor is yours. What's your overall thought of what you saw?
I am just going to stick with my theme right now and say I'm encouraged by what I saw, right? I'm not so like, oh my God, we're going to the Super Bowl like I see some people.
Right.
And I'm not thinking like, we're just going to have like the worst season in the world. Like, understand where we are coming from. It is, we're starting over again. So, everybody just take a step back, be a little bit logical here. I'm encouraged by what I saw, right? Listen, I will forever just not be a Kenny Galladay fan. So nobody, despite everybody coming at me, I just will not be a fan. So stop trying. That's it. I made up my mind.
This is what me and Spartan have this for you.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
Well,
thank you. Round
clap.
of applause. Round of applause. I told you all Barkley was back. Secondary concerned me a little bit. A little lost. A little bit of miscommunication at first. My concern in the summer was that it's a very young, very thin secondary, and they had all said you have to be really intelligent to play in a Wink Martindale defense. So let's give them a little time, figure it out, and everybody stop overreacting. It is week friggin' 1. That's it. Stop overreacting.
I did. Didn't you, Spartan? I know you're going to agree with me when I say this. Didn't you think they would pick up a corner that, from somewhere that had some experience? Like, I thought they would have brought some. It was a good picking up what's his name from the Jets, but and there was one from Baltimore. But I thought they'd bring another corner in. Did you not, Spartan?
Yeah, I would have expected it.
Yeah, it just feels like we're so thin on experience back there.
But maybe, hey, look, they didn't play perfect, but they didn't do what I thought they were going to do and ultimately be like the downfall of the team the other day. So, maybe Daboll, maybe they took a look around. It's like, you know what? We could put this will suffice. Maybe.
Yeah, I hope so, because I love Robinson on everything short and underneath. Anything where he has to cover.
That ball's going way over his head. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's not good.
All right, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Anytime that cat's got to open up his hips and run with somebody, it's over. I'm like, again, but he plays like a linebacker. If it's in front of him, he had a couple really nice open field tackles.
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, and I'll give you my point, how I feel about the Giants after that one. But real quick, because actually, Mark brought it up. He said the Panthers play calling was a little suspect at a couple critical times. He meant the Titans. I actually do agree with that. I don't know what the Titans were thinking. I would have gunslinged it deep all day. But let me just say this. A week 1 win at Tennessee, who's one of the best teams we have to play this year. It's definitely top 5 of the teams we have to play this year. It lets me know this. I'm not saying we will, but the Giants can win any single game on this schedule if they play the way they did in the second half. There's not a team that's completely outmatching them. There's going to be teams that present challenges, especially when the days just don't align or the coaching's there or other factors are there. Seeing the Packers the other day, I think they can go to England and beat Green Bay. I definitely do. Ravens, they have a little bit of a quarterback controversy. Eagles, if they don't turn over the ball, they're going to have to put up a lot of points for it. They can beat the Eagles. I'm not afraid of any other team the Giants are playing this year. And seeing what I did against Tennessee, yeah, I have confidence the Giants are going in the right direction. There will be bumps in the road this year. I don't think we're a 4-13 team, though, and I think that game confirmed it. Knock on wood.
And imagine if you have a healthy Tibbs and Ojulari.
Yes.
Ugh.
Right?
I just close my eyes and just
manifest it. You manifested the win, so manifest the return. Yeah.
Marinating it.
I mean,
that sounded weird, but anyway, go on, Craig.
I think I don't know if Tutu said it. Someone said it. That, they have one of the easiest schedules. Might have been Chris, it might have been Mason. Someone said
they're literally the next 10 games are literally cakewalks except for the Ravens. I'm like, okay, we really shouldn't go 4-13 here.
Yeah, no, I don't listen. Someone asked me about that today. I am a firm believer that anybody can beat anybody on any given day. So I'm not the guy that's gonna be like, we're going to there's a great video from Tennessee when the kicker misses the field goal, there's these 5 guys behind the net, and they're like going crazy. Wow! And the guy goes, "We're going to the Super Bowl."
Oh God.
And
Oh,
I'm like, okay, that guy's cut off. No more beer for that
Yeah.
guy. Right?
Calm down.
So, like, yeah, Spartan, you nailed it. Yeah, you could definitely win some of these games. You could definitely scrap in some of these games. You know,
let me tell you, end of the season last year, they weren't winning many games. I don't think there was any team in the NFL and Giants.
No. And, you know, Dak Prescott now is out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken thumb. Wentz, it's hot and cold. You know, him to McLaren could be dangerous. I am like the number one guy in I'm only a half hour outside of Philly. And I keep telling these guys, I'm like, you'll win, but it won't because of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a terrible quarterback. Like, he just cannot throw. Talk about a guy who can't read and just wants to run every 5 seconds. Most of the teams that play the Eagles, including the Giants, should be able to figure that out. The Giants, as terrible as they were last year, shut down Hurts, right?
Joe Judge's greatest accomplishment, finishing 500 against the Eagles.
Yeah, exactly. So, all good. Heading in the right direction. You get Ojulari back. You get Tibbs back. That's really good. Time will tell if Calitro, which was terrible, and Fox, which was terrible, and Crowder, which is terrible. We hope that those guys figure it out because they're going to be needed as the year goes, without a doubt. And, you know, look, let's wrap this up on Sterling Shepard's touchdown. 63 yards. Welcome back, Shep, right? You know, you're gone with an Achilles. So nice to have him back. I wrote a piece on nygiantsrush.com just last week on when you start looking into first downs, they're usually Jones and Shepard. So, yep. Nikki, like, were you excited to see 3 back on the field or what?
Yes, of course. And listen, that the team was too. They have said all summer, like, his presence means a lot to them, and he gets the team going. Everybody says the same thing. Shep gets that team going. He gets them ready to play, gets them pumped up. I mean, like, he's such a great player. Like, how did you not get excited when you saw that? I was amped. I was jacked up after that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was listening to some bootleg stream, watching the game because, black it out in sorts of weird spots. So I don't know if the national broadcast is the same one I got, but I got Mark Sanchez. Did you guys get Mark Sanchez?
Yeah, we got Sanchez. Yeah.
So I can't be the only one that saw this. He broke down the Shepard touchdown like perfectly, like textbook. And that's why, how people they want to create a narrative. They're like, well, if that didn't happen, this would be, right? If Jones doesn't throw that pass to Shepard, he had a terrible day. You're like, well, if Eli Manning didn't escape that in the grasp, we wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. But it did. It did happen. So, Spartan, something to think about. And if you get a chance to read the piece, I broke down Sanchez's analysis, and he does say that the throw that Jones made, like to throw the backside fly, it's never open. He literally said, and he broke down the film, that he had 4 reads, 2 short from the middle of the field to past the hash to the sideline, and then 2 above. That he had 4 reads that were 2 short, 2 deep. That should have been where the ball went. And the backside fly, which is the 5th read, is never open. And he says once every 5 years you get a breakdown on the backside because it's one-on-one coverage. And he's like, you got to give Jones credit. He had 4 options. He should have thrown it, didn't like anything he saw, and just took a gander. So a kid who doesn't read read 4, potential routes and went, heck with it. What's happening at 5? And, throws a 63-yard touchdown.
Anyone who's saying that was luck is a complete moron. That was execution of a very difficult task.
Yeah.
And that's what you need. You need quarterback execution.
Yep. And that's exactly all I'm looking for is that, yes, he has his moments where he's locked on. In that 63 touchdown, it wasn't luck at all. He literally went through his progressions and came back. And Sanchez said, hey, one, it's awesome that Shepard comes back so strong with a 63-yard touchdown. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. It's great for the team, as Nicky just alluded to. And the fact that Jones literally looked off 4 receivers and said, holy cow. And Sanchez goes, honestly, this only happens like once every 5 years. No one looks through 4 guys and comes to the 5th guy who's streaking down the field. So great play, good win, great win, because it's the monkey off your back. Now they can have some fun. Oh, wait, hang on. Giants notifications. The best sounds and sights from the Giants and experts. Best sounds are right here. The best sounds are right.
Best sounds are right here.
I don't know. I keep getting.
Experts are here.
The Giants keep The Giants keep notifying us about the Giants, guys. I'm glad they love us so much. Housekeeping. NYGiantsRush.com.
Panthers. You want to talk Panthers at all, Craig, or we not?
Yeah, I'm gonna get there. No, I'm gonna get there for a minute. I'm just getting the housekeeping stuff out of the way. NYGiantsRush.com. Check out. We do now have an Instagram account we're trying to get some stuff on, which is NYGiants_Rush. You guys are following all these peeps. Make sure you interact with them. Be nice to them. You can be an ass to me, but be nice to them. They work hard to give you like really cool stuff, so we appreciate it. Jake says, let's go, baby, and win. Not used to this feeling.
Yes.
I'm putting that up there because I find that funny.
Listen, we killed a bottle of champagne after the win. So, I wasn't kidding when I tweeted we were popping bottles.
No one of these, Craig.
Okay, ready?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And last, of course, please do me a favor. If you work out, check out Astroflave. I wouldn't steer you wrong. Let's talk about there it is. Let's talk about Panthers. Feels like a winnable game. There's some Baker Mayfield drama baked in there. Let's face facts. The Browns didn't think they can go to the Super Bowl with Baker. They let him go. No one thinks that Baker's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but he's scrappy enough to get you, into the playoffs, get your franchise headed in the right direction. He's a pretty good fit for the Panthers because they can't seem to find a quarterback to save their life. He's got a chip on his shoulder, so he may work down there. Maybe he'll save Rule's job. I don't know. Doubt it. But the biggest issue, Nicky, about the Panthers is they've got a Christian McCaffrey that can basically catch anything out of the backfield, and our linebackers suck. They are butt.
Yeah.
Is McCaffrey and Baker going to give us trouble, or are they just not competitive enough to give the Giants a game?
No. I think you have to, let's give, CMC a little respect. He's going to give them trouble, I think. This is, I don't think it's going to be as easy. I do think the Giants probably can come away with a win here, but he's going to give them a hard time. I think so. He's just that good, unless he gets hurt. But no, he's just that good. Is Baker Mayfield scary? No, but, if he's passing, like I said, that secondary concerns me a little bit. So we'll see, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as everyone thinks it's going to be.
And that I agree with. That is a great point. This is the New York Giants. Nothing we do is easy.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Spartan, anything scare you coming out of this Panthers game? They don't have a lot of stars on that team.
If they, what I'm worried the Panthers are going to do that the Titans didn't, because they have Robbie Anderson, they did execute it last week, is they're probably going to try to go deeper on the secondary. Now, truly, if they play similar to the Titans, look, the Panthers are an easier team than the Titans. They are a more beatable team. Their defense is easier to get through. Obviously, Baker isn't as good as Tannehill. But what I don't want the Giants to do is come off this past win cocky, and then they overlook Carolina because, yes, it should be an easier opponent. But like we just said, any team can win on any given Sunday. So the strategy here is on defense, make sure that the safeties are a little bit back further just in case. But I also think, the attack on the run should be similar to what it was this past week. They did a good job against Henry. I think they can do a good job against CMC. On the offensive side of the ball, might as well come out with the strategy similar to what they were doing last week. Give it to Barkley. If Barkley wasn't getting stopped against the Titans, the Panthers are not going to do it to him either. I think that's the strategy. And of course, if there's some surprises in there, then they can adjust.
I was going to ask Nikki this, but I don't want to upset her before the show's over.
Oh, God.
Spartan, KG has 2 catches this week.
Oh.
Against Carolina, could he not show up and just try something? Isn't this a game where KG gets 100 yards?
It should be in a perfect world, but I think this is one of those games where one of our lesser known receivers is going to show out. The hungrier ones are going to want it, and the hungrier ones are going to succeed at the end of the day. I think those guys are the ones that are going to get the 100-yard games. Probably not Kenny. I think Kenny Golladay looks at his bank account the way a 64-and-a-half-year-old is looking at the retirement fund. It's like, I am so close. I am pennies away. I think Kenny Golladay is just looking. He's like, all right, once I get to, $50 million in the bank account, I'm done. I'm checked out. I don't care what the hell's going on. Playing here in Jersey,
Already checked out.
Absolutely. Literally, he's checked out. He has more checks from the Giants organization than you can
my God. It's Dave Gettleman special there. Milk carton Kenny. Get him on the milk carton. Where's he been? He's been missing all camp, right? He's missing in action on Sunday. I mean, really, it's pathetic at this point. It really is.
Goodness.
Well, I like that Sills is getting some playing time. I like that Shep looks to be pretty healthy. We may try to match, McCaffrey with Saquon out of the backfield a little bit. I think Kafka's a guy who likes to put in wrinkles. You know what, Spartan, I liked your thought about, what if we just repeat what we did last week and just emphasize and get better at it? But something tells me that Kafka's a guy that just puts in something new every week. And
you're probably right, but maybe he trusts his receivers a little bit more. Maybe they come out with a little bit more deep threat action, mid-range threat action than kind of what we saw this past week. Of course, the blocking has to be there. I know there are struggles with that with the interior line.
The only wish I have for this game, you would think I would wish Kenny Golladay to do something, and I'm not. I am wishing that they use the tight end. I'd like to see Bellinger make some plays. I was really excited for, some type of Travis Kelce, seam route, and the dude's ripping it down the field, and that never came. So I was a little disappointed with that.
I'm not disappointed. Real quick, Chris Myrick, he played good football.
Yeah, well, without a doubt. I don't.
But I'm with you. I want Bellinger to show out and be chalky. I don't want we get
and Bellinger's twice the athlete as Myrick is, so I just need him to, I'd like them again. That's what kind of Spartan, I want to believe what Daboll said about packages, because there was no package for Bellinger either. He literally blocked. Yeah. I didn't look up the snap count, but he probably had 48 snaps, 50 snaps, and he blocked every play. Mm-hmm. At least almost every play. Chris says, let me pop Chris's comment up here. Chris says, the Giants with McCaffrey and coverage is going to be a lot of nickel and dime. 100%. You're going to see, and because we're a little weak on the corner side, you may see 3 safeties. But you definitely, I can see nickel. A dime is a lot, but you're definitely going to see some nickel coverage without a doubt. And in fact, I don't know, most teams run nickel as their base package sometimes, Yeah. So, yeah, we have to look out for that. Nikki, anything that I don't know, anything about Carolina at all that you think is, doesn't match up well against the Giants?
Yeah, I mean, like Spartan said, it's that deep threat, right? Is really I think is a little concerning. And we will talk about that more on Thursday.
Oh, that's right.
A little tease.
That's right. I'm throwing Nikki on a Panthers podcast.
Yes.
I'll blast that out so you guys can support her out there. Because if I get on there, I'm just going to yell at those guys. And they're really
I might yell at them too. You never know.
Well, they're really nice guys.
All right.
They're really nice guys. Okay. I just right now, I'm feeling good being a Giants fan because I haven't felt this way in 6 years. it's got to be tough being a Panthers fan.
Yeah,
I
and I
almost
don't
feel
really like Matt Rule. I mean, I'm glad the Giants. Remember what was a couple of years ago, and the Giants were like, "Oh, we gotta get Matt Rule. We gotta get Matt Rule." I'm glad we didn't, because it led us to Brian Daboll, who I like and who I think is going to turn this franchise around. So I don't love Matt Rule's play calling. I think we're going to definitely have the upper hand on play calling.
And he's very similar to Kenny Galladay. He loves his big fat paychecks that hit, regardless of how good his team is.
You just have to keep bringing up Kenny Galladay. You just gotta get it.
Sorry,
at
Nikki.
the end of the show. Everybody knows I hate this guy. I just can't stand him. I never want to look at him and his mopey, dopey body language ever again.
Spartan is on a roll now. Nikki's all fired up.
We're gonna get in trouble on the podcast tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. So let me say this to you folks, just so you know ahead of time, because we need your help. We're throwing a party on the Garlic Rose on the Friday, the 23rd. Leonard's going to come and sign autographs, and it's a pretty neat event where they're going to feed you, they're going to give you drinks, they're going to have like a 50-50 and a raffle. They'll have stuff there. We'll bring these guys. If you want one of these, Spartan, show me the back of your shirt.
Here it is.
You see it? You like that?
And you got to stand up just a little bit. Right there, look. Right there on the 70. He's signing those puppies. So look, yes, you can go to nygiantsrush.com and buy yourself a signed one, an unsigned one. Give me enough time to still ship it out. Otherwise, you'll have to meet me on the turnpike somewhere, and I'll throw it through your car window. But that's a joke. But we're gonna be there. Chris Nails is gonna be with me. Nikki's gonna be with me. Hopeful that Zane will be with us. Zane's had some personal issues, and we're our thoughts and prayers are with Mr. Zane.
And real quick on that topic of Zane reposted the GoFundMe the other day. Unfortunately, the loved one of his that passed away.
Yep.
Leaving behind $2 and a wife, and any contributions would help. And
it was Zane's cousin passed away. They were like brothers. So if you're feeling supportive, or maybe you've been in that scenario before, or you just want to help out, we can retweet it out later. If you want to do the GoFundMe, you want to throw in $1 to $10 to $100 to $1,000, who cares? Supporting the Giants community is kind of what we do. We argue a lot, we get mad at each other, we block guys, we unblock guys, we mute people. But we always appreciate what you guys are doing. But listen, the tickets, you can get the tickets through Eventbrite, or you can call the Garlic Rose. It's in Bergen County. I've posted it a couple times. These guys will repost it again too. Like, love to see you guys come out and hang out with Leonard Marshall. Come out and hang out with Nikki and Chris and me. Spartan, of course, is he's in Chicago. So, but we love to hang out with you guys. We'll do giveaways. I don't know. We'll do trivia. Nikki will come up with some kind of cool drinking game you guys could do.
Yes.
We'll have some fun. So, and the last thing, of course, is we want to fill the stadium up, folks. Whether you please put it on your Facebook group, put it on your Instagram, put it on there. We need your help. We need your help. We want to sell these shirts. It goes to the Leonard Marshall Foundation, which is raising money to create a safer college campus. So, like, if I raise $2,000, $3,000, it goes right to a college to help them, however they distribute it, whether they do education or security or whatever they do. We're trying to do stuff, and we'll do more of these t-shirt things because it's easy for us to create them, and it's easy for us to turn around money to the Leonard Marshall Foundation, which you can, if you have any questions, it's tlamf.org. Okay, so if you want to check that out. So we're trying to fill the stadium up with 70s jerseys, which you saw Mike model a couple minutes ago. I have mine on right here, right? We want to fill the stadium up with 70s so we can show Mara, that he waited too long, but it was a good decision. And of course, the store also is full of NY Giants Rush gear. So if you want to buy one of our logos on a hoodie or a sweatshirt, Nikki, stand up just a little bit, like yeah. But if you stand a little bit, you can see it.
You can see.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. You know what?
There it is.
Let me take here. Look. Now I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah. So look,
you
buy one of those for your girlfriend or your wife. Check it out. They're in the store.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow all these guys. What's that, Nick?
I said, now I did it where I don't flash everybody again. So progress.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. We appreciate you guys hanging in there. All you guys have been in the room. Look, love Jones, hate Jones, love the Giants, hate the Giants, whatever it is. Like, try to support them the best you can, man. It's a good feeling. They win. Can you imagine a 2-0 Spark? Can you imagine being 2-0?
Well, then we'll be very, very happy when our special guest is on next week. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Which is the last thing I've got to tell you. Next Tuesday is the Giants guys 100th episode. I mean, like, what? I've given you guys 100 episodes. I mean, come on, that's pretty dang good. 100 episodes. We have a special guest. Should I tell him who it is, Spartan?
I think tell right now.
No, I shouldn't.
I think you should.
You should. Yeah.
All the world.
Good friend of ours, good friend of the show. We've had him on a couple times. He's one of your favorite guests too, which is, of course, Super Bowl winning kicker Lawrence Tynes. He will be joining us to celebrate our 100th show. We are working on some other guys. I actually was trying to work on AP to see if I can get Tynes and AP together, but I can't get any love out of AP. And but Lawrence Tynes is going to come hang out with us because, and by the way, no better insight than that guy. He's got great stories. He's still connected to the team. And he's always got, listen, for the record, and I'll leave you with this. Nobody knew who Mike Kafka was except Lawrence Tynes. He told me last year when it was going bad that the Giants should look at Mike Kafka. And it's so cool. And I'm like, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. So, yeah, Thompson says he's looking forward to that show. You guys are great. Appreciate the support. Please bang these shirts out for me. We get rid of them. I can get them in the mail to you so you can have them. Tell the season ticket holders to buy them. I'm going to bring a box to the game, so you'll be able to buy some of them at the game. Maybe 20, 30 I'll bring to the game. Tomorrow I'm going to Leonard's house. We'll do another video. I'm going to have him sign there tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Love you guys. Peace out. Appreciate the support, and go Big Blue, baby.
Go Giants.
Bye.
Peace.